Or who to call on when things get rough and tough. I call on God. I rely on my Holy Spirit, you know. And as long as I have some wisdom to know the difference of what I should do and what I shouldn't do, shouldn't have a lot of problems. I just trust. Simplicity, being uncomplicated, clear, and easy to understand, lacking complexity, pretense, or excessive ornament, and focusing on essentials which can apply to design, lifestyle, or character. I try to make my life as simple as possible. I can't make my life complicated. You know, I can be a complicated person, but I want my life to be simple, because I find that as long as I can live my life simply, I'm willing to make the effort to do things differently. But when I live my life complicated and if it seems too rough and too hard, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to change nothing. I'll just stick to what I've been doing, you know, not realizing that my life is hard because I complicate it and I need to have some simplicity in my life, you know. Things are very simple. Things are very, very simple, and it's clear and easy to understand, and it lacks complexity. So I don't need to complex anything. I don't need to complicate anything in my life. I need to go about things with ease, with simplicity. Well, easy and simplicity are two different things, but I need to make it just simple. I can follow directions. The direction is simple. You know, if I come to a car, if I'm driving a car and I come to a traffic light and and it has the color red, that's simple for me to understand. And what should I do? Stop. But if I come to traffic light and then it turns a bright blue and then green and then it quickly changes to red, then it's amber, like the three lights usually are, and then it's some hue type of color, you know, and then it's a deep purple, you know. I'm like, what's going on here? This is too complicated for me to understand, and I don't know, and it's not designed right. This is not by design. This is to confuse me. I need life to be simple so I don't be confused, you know. So we have green, amber, and red. That's simple enough for me to understand. I don't need no other colors in the mix, you know. All right, so now let me get into some of what this here is about our fruits of the spirit and the principles. Fruits of our spirit are different from principles. Fruits of the spirit generally produce internally, but what we call the Holy Spirit. I don't know if I read that right. Let me read that right again. Fruits of our spirit are different from principles. Fruits of our spirit generally produce internally. It's generally produced internally. It's within us. That's the we call the Holy Spirit. That's what's internal, you know, and it's always. I don't know if you felt the same way that I have, but sometimes something will pull on me or nag at me, or I can hear it like in a soft voice, like it's my own voice or a comfortable voice that I'm used to. Hey, Ron, do this. Ron, I don't know if you should do that. Or maybe you should call. Get up and pray. You know, tell me what to do. You know, so I need to listen to the Holy Spirit that's within me. You know, and this represents a non-distinctive character traits, and we told you what they were right from the beginning. The fruits of the Spirit, talking about joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, love, you know. And this is a little different from principles. Principles are generally rules, doctrines, or moral guidelines that guides behavior, often derived from intellect or tradition, and essential or in essence, fruits of the Spirit is a reflection of the divine spiritual character. Principles are cognitive or moral framework which can be followed by anyone regardless of their spiritual state. Fruits of the Spirit grows and matures gradually through a person's relationship with God. You know, they work hand in hand. They're not in conflict with one another because they both keeps our focus on doing the right thing for the right reasons. I must have the fruits of the Spirit within me. That requires me to have a spiritual nature, you know, and that spiritual nature will always guide me in the right direction. Principles living out in this world, I need to have a guideline to do the right thing for the right reasons. I need to follow a set of rules, a set of guidelines in this world. Because when I do that, everybody has to follow some type of rule. There are rules everywhere. Rules in the household, rules at school, rules in the jail, rules at the bank. There's just rules. We got to follow these rules, the principles that they give us to follow, because it lead us into the right way of doing things, the right way of behaving, you know. And then here it talks about principles are general rules, doctrines, or moral guidelines that guide behavior, often derived from intellect and traditions. In essence, fruits of the Spirit is a reflection of divine spiritual character. Principles are cognitive or moral framework which can be followed by anyone regardless of their spiritual state. Fruits of the Spirit grows and matures gradually through a person's relationship with God. Principles can be adopted, memorized, or applied instantly. See, we learn things in this world and we can memorize it, like I had mentioned about the traffic light. The principles of a traffic light is to follow the rules. Red means stop, green means go, amber means wait, caution. That's simple enough, and that's instant. Fruits of the Spirit is not like that. It's not like that. If we don't have that fruits of the Spirit within us, if we don't have that within us, there's no way in the world that I can understand what the Spirit is talking to me, what the Spirit means for me. Why even have a God? Because if I'm not growing spiritually, all these fruits mean nothing. You know, we can tell a person that has good fruit. They're good people, and they're good. There are good people, and there are people that have good fruit. Good fruit is what? Good for eating. Bad fruit is what? Good for throwing away. So there are good people in God, but there are people that's in God, but they haven't found a way to complement their character with God. We can see that. We can hear that. The way they talk, the way they do things, action. Everything is about action. You know, everybody has lip service, but how many people have action? Principles, on the other hand, gives us a way to do things instantaneously, no matter what our spiritual state is. This is just a set of rules you must follow, you know, and I follow them. I try the best I can. I know you do too, you know, because we all want to be all right. Nobody wants to live in fear. Nobody wants to have a lot of anger, hate. Nobody wants to be the one that nobody wants to talk to. Nobody wants to be like that. Oh, I can be by myself. I wouldn't care what anybody thinks about me. Yeah, right. If you did, why are you boistering yourself like that? Of course you do. We all do. We all want to be notably loved by somebody, paid attention to, be admired by someone. So we need to follow certain ways in our life to have this possible. They both complement each other because when When practicing both, it leads to a corrective behavior. That's what I just finished talking about. They complement each other. They don't destroy one another. It helps control our behavior. This is a positive action, and it leads to corrective behavior. And this positive action, no matter which we choose to practice after, they both would do us good to change our negative character to a more improved positive character. See, we don't want a negative character. I don't know about you. I don't want a negative character. I don't want a negative character. Because I've lived my life long enough to see that people despise negative characters. Police will arrest a person with a negative character. People will beat down people with a negative character. People will shoot people with a negative character. Families don't want people around them to have a negative character. Strangers don't need to be around nobody, and they show that with people that they meet with negative characters. We want a more positive character because, you heard that saying, you can attract more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. People want positive stuff, sweeter stuff. Don't be fooled though, but just be nice, be good, be caring, be loving, be understanding, have empathy, be compassionate. It's how we desire to be at peace with ourselves so we can be at peace with others. Dealing with other people or things help our spirit to show what's in their shadows, may be exposed in the light. Whatever you hide in the darkness, it will be exposed in the light, and you can't hide from the light. You can see my face, right? Can you see me? I'm in the light. Imagine if I turned the light off. You wouldn't see me. Things are hidden. But as soon as the lights clicked on, boom, I'm exposed. So I might as well be right, do right, talk right, think right, act right. This is so we can coexist together. Everybody, we live together on this planet. Why not be good to one another? Why not be unified with one another? We accept more positive values rather than negative values. I just finished talking about that. Some of us would rather be all for themselves, which would lead them to negative values. Others would rather include others, which leads them to more positive values. Whichever we choose changes our desires. I desire to be a good person. I desire to be a child of God. I desire to follow my Holy Spirit. I desire to say what is good, what is right, what is just, what is a good report. I desire these types of things. I desire to be a person of integrity. I desire to be valued as a positive light. I desire that because I lived the other way in darkness, and I stayed hidden in darkness for so long till it became irritating. I almost died. I'm not almost